Hello, hello, and welcome to Fantasy Baseball Picks and Bets here on the Mayo Media Network. We are presented by PrizePicks.com. Go over to PrizePicks.com, use the code MMNMLB, as in Mayo Media Network. Major League Baseball, when you sign up. If you haven't already, what are you waiting for? It's almost the end of the season. It's almost NFL season. MLB is winding down. It's been a good season for us so far. It's been a good season over at FTN Daily. That's where I'm from. My name's David. I'm your host today. Follow me over on Twitter at Tenacious D Jones and check out FTN Daily, FTN Network, FTN Fantasy, and FTN Bets over on Twitter too while you're at it. Go check out our optimizer as well. It's free for the weekend for MLB, so go check that out. And then also if you sign up for the NFL subscription, you get MLB free for the rest of the season. So you should probably do that. Preseason has been pretty good, but enough about that. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out all the great content coming out of the Mayo Media Network. It's not just me. I'm only here on Thursdays, and we only have a few Thursdays left. You know they've got great content here at the Mayo Media Network. I mentioned we are presented by PrizePicks. Be sure to go check out PrizePicks. It's where you bet on overs and unders on fantasy props for players. If you think they're going to go over, you hit over. If you think they're going to go under, you hit under. You can even parlay them together. It's pretty cool. Not all sports books let you do that depending on where you live. So PrizePicks, a little bit for everyone over there. Check it out. Okay. We're talking about baseball on Friday. 14 gamer, big slate over on DraftKings.com. You know, you got to pick two pitchers. You got to stack up a couple teams. Hopefully win the big bucks. I'm sure they have some huge contest over there where you can win $100,000. Or if you want to play it more responsibly and just try and double, triple, quadruple your money up, it's probably a good way to do that. Double that money up every day. You're going to have a lot of money real soon. Let's talk about who we are going to use for our top pitcher. I usually like to get a little bit weird with these. I usually like to look around the mid-range, look down at the bottom, and while there are a few options that I consider good punts towards the bottom and the mid-range, I don't think I can get over not using Walker Buehler. He's the most expensive guy, 10-5, but on big slates like this, and I'm always on the Thursday show, so I'm always talking about Friday, there's always opportunity to spend up because you have 14 different teams, meaning that you're going to have some value pop up somewhere. You can usually do it. Walker Buehler, it's just going to be a solid play. He's been solid all season. He's going up against the New York Mets, just went up against the New York Mets in his last start. Went 7 innings, 4 hits allowed, 1 earned run on a homer, but struck out 10. That's what you're looking for. Strikeouts, you're looking for them winning the game, too. I think the Bats are going to be able to pull him through to another win. Dodgers need to win, too. They need to catch up with the Giants. He got 29.6 points last time he faced the Mets, just this last game, 2.10 ERA. He's got 12 wins on the season, only 2 losses. He's been very, very good. He's pitched 154.2 innings, has a 27% strikeout rate, pretty decent walk rate, 6.8%, ground ball rate, 42.6%, ERA 2.09. What did I say earlier? That's not the same thing I said earlier. Which one's right? 2.09, 2.10, depending on the site you look at. It's fine. FIP of 3.14. His home run per 9 is under 1 per 9, which I like. It's 0.81 home runs per 9. Home run to fly ball ratio is 9.5%. Walks per 9, 2.39. Look, I can rattle off a bunch of numbers about how good Walker Buehler's been. Those are all very good numbers, or I wouldn't have read them to you. And he's going up against a Mets team that is not scoring very much, right? So their last game out, not including Thursday, I don't know what they're going to do. I'm recording this before they play the Dodgers in the bullpen game on Thursday. The game before that, I think they put up 6 runs, but before that, they were in like the bottom 20% of scoring in MLB over like the last week. They are just not hitting the ball. They are trailing to the Braves and the Phillies now. They're not going to make the playoffs, and they're certainly not going to get a game up on Walker Buehler. One important thing about the Mets is how much they strike out. So on the season, you don't want to use season averages at this point of the year. 8.5 strikeouts per game, but they are way over that over their last 3, striking out 11 times per game. That's second worst in MLB, only second to the Los Angeles Angels. They're going to strike out against Buehler like they did the last time out. 9 strikeouts, 10 strikeouts, something like that is what I'm expecting. That's a lot, and that's going to be enough to be on a GPP winning team, I'm pretty sure. Especially like the smaller tournament stuff. Sometimes you have to get weirder in like the huge tournaments. If you're playing 50,000 people, look, he's going to be a good play, but you're going to have to get real crazy with those bats. I still expect him to be probably the highest scoring pitcher on the slate. Like someone might have a great game and get above him, but he's going to be up there. It's Walker Buehler. Really good play for your Friday night lineups. Sorry I couldn't get real weird with that one. I mean, it's just a good play. You've got Robbie Ray against Detroit, also a good play. If you're looking to save $600, you can do that. If you want to look down towards the middle, maybe a punt you'd consider against the Marlins would be Sonny Gray. Marlins can't hit the ball right now either. They proved that up against the Braves. And I'm also looking at Austin Gomer coming off paternity list. He's really cheap, 5'9", going up against Arizona. That is in course, though. But Gomer doesn't give up a ton of home runs, but that is in course. That's pretty scary. Probably don't do that. If it wasn't in course, I would play the paternity narrative. Next, we have to find a team that we're going... My nose is itching. Sorry. Next, we're going to have to find a team we want to stack up, and there are some good options. If you look down at some of the worst pitchers on the slate, you've got like Tyler Alexander, Dunning, who people were like oddly high on at the beginning of the season. Did not understand that. He's not been good. We were on the right side of that over at FTN, especially if you're following me. I never understood that. Berea for LA going up against Cleveland, but I like Cleveland against lefties more than I like him against righties, but I do like Cleveland at home more than I like him against the road. They're fine, whatever. I'm going to land on targeting Keegan Aiken with Atlanta. Atlanta is one of the 2 hottest teams in MLB right now, along with the Tampa Bay Rays. Atlanta is in the top 2 highest scoring teams over like the last 3 days, and I'm pretty sure over the last week too. I just have the average of the last 3 days. It's second to the Tampa Rays, 8.33 runs per game. That's a lot of runs. Atlanta is leading Philly, I think, by 4 or 5 games right now, and they're just on a complete roll to get into the playoffs. They're also top 5 in homers against lefties in August, which is a big deal. They added Duvall, obviously, from Miami. He's a good lefty hitter, and they also added Jorge Soler, who's been hitting homers for him. More homers. I need to look at the numbers, but I feel like he's getting close to tying his average with his last team with the Braves in a very short time. He's been hitting well, so you want these Braves that hit Keegan Aiken well, and anyone can essentially hit Keegan Aiken well, but these Braves guys are going to line up good against him, against the lefty. Keegan Aiken, 8.13 ERA on the season, walk rate 8.7%, and not something we're really targeting. That's not like terrible, but it's not good. Ground ball rate looks good, 35%. That means a lot are getting in the air. This is in 58.2 innings pitched, and his K percentage is under 20. I do like that. Home run per 9 is 1.53. 12.5% of the fly balls are going for homers. xFIP 4.98, and Braves are scoring a ton, right? So which Braves do we want to use? Let me pull up the starting lineup right here, pull up who's going to hit the lefties. And I already mentioned his name, but it's going to be Jorge Soler. So believe it or not, he has more homers against lefties in his last, if I'm comparing it to Ozzie Albies. Yeah, more homers than Albies in his last 109 at-bats. Albies has 8, he has 9. Would not have expected that unless I saw it on paper. So Soler, last 109 at-bats, 9 homers, hitting .350 with a .290 ISO against lefties. Love it. Ozzie Albies with 8 homers, only 1 less than Soler in his last 115 at-bats, hitting .430 and .310 ISO against lefties. Like that. Adam Duvall, his price is creeping up. Don't love that because the masses have finally caught on. It's August, but hits lefties well, and he's everyday player here for the Braves. It's 6 homers, last 101 at-bats, .250 WOBA, .210 ISO. Admittedly not great on-base percentages here, but he can get it out of the park. That's what you want. It's going to be in Camden Yards, and that's a good hitter's ballpark. Freddie Freeman hit for the Cycle on Wednesday, I believe, .340 against lefties in his last 122 at-bats with 6 homers. You're probably going to want to get Freddie Freeman in there. Don't expect the 54 whatever points he put up the other day when he hit for the Cycle, but he should pull his own. It's Freddie Freeman, for God's sakes. Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, 5 homers his last 100 at-bats against lefties, hitting .290. And then Austin Riley, not a guy that I like to use against lefties, but he's sandwiched right there in between all these great lefty hitters. He could get one out. He's done it a couple times this season, but then you're really targeting him when the righties come in, which should probably be around half of the game. A little less than that, to be fair to Aiken, but it depends on how well they're hitting him. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. Let's see what Aiken, how long he's been lasting here. Keegan Aiken, 6,100 on DraftKings. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So you're really getting more of like a bullpen game even here with Aiken in, unless he just has the game of his life. He hasn't gone over 4 innings pitched. He got it to 5 like 2 months ago. He's not going to last long. You're going to probably have a righty for more than half of that game, which is going to be good for Austin Riley. And it's also fine for these other guys. Like Albies can hit righties, Dansby can. Freddie Freeman obviously can, Soler can to a lesser extent, but you want that 1 through 5, 1 through 6 for the Braves. I like them a lot. Their team total is like 6.5 or something already on the books. They're going to be putting up some runs. And by the way, that's lower than the average of what they've been doing the last 3 games. So there you go. Play some Braves. You need to fill in with some one-offs around your Brave stack. If you can't find someone else to stack with, you probably can. But here are just some one-off names that I like. Give me at least 2 homers out of these guys, and I'm going to be happy. Out of these 4, you just got to pick the right one. Pretty sure Teoscar Hernandez is going to do it, going up against Tyler Anderson back in Toronto. The Blue Jays facing Detroit. Hernandez has been phenomenal against lefties. Anderson has a 4.10 ERA, whatever, that's fine. But Hernandez crushes lefties, 500 WOBA in his last 85 at-bats. That's not a small sample size. 9 homers in his last 85 at-bats with a 420 ISO. Destroys lefties, love him, favorite one-off on the slate. By far. Next up is going to be Nelson Cruz versus Lucas Giolito. Some people might not want to target Giolito. I have 0 issue doing that. They should be low-owned. Tampa Bay, I mentioned earlier, super hot, and Giolito gets bombed. He gives up a ton of homers. He's a good pitcher, I guess, but he gives up homers. He's given up 5 in his last 3 games. And guess how many homers he's given up to Nelson Cruz? 4. He's given up 4 homers to Nelson Cruz in his last 25 at-bats, so Nelson Cruz's personal BVP against him in 25 at-bats, not small sample size, is 520 ISO, 532 WOBA with 4 homers. Nelson Cruz, do it again, baby. Next up, Willy Adames going up against Patrick Corbin. Patrick Corbin, bad. How many homers has he given up his last 4 starts? You're not going to believe it, 9. That's insane. 9 homers his last 4 starts. Willy Adames, one of the best lefty hitters on the team over there, last 114 at-bats, hitting 330 with 7 homers. Love it. I'm going to use him. I'm going to be really excited about it. He's been hot lately, too. He hit a homer his last game. And then I'm going to take a shot probably on Joey Gallo. He's my 4th favorite out of this bunch. Pick one of those other guys, honestly. But going up against Charlie Barnes to start off the lefty, he's a great lefty hitter, one of the best on the Yankees now. This Barnes guy is allowing a homer in 3 of his last 4 starts. He's only had 4 starts on the season. Gallo in his last 143 at-bats, 10 homers against lefties, hitting 370, 260 ISO. So there you go. Those are 4 guys that I like a lot. Go with them. We'll look for some value over at FTN Daily tomorrow. If you want to take a bet, there's not a lot of lines out right now when I'm doing this video, but I know that I like the Braves, and I know that I like Toronto, and I would have to assume they're going to be big favorites. So here's the bet. Parlay Toronto and the Braves together, and, you know, get like, I don't know what the odds are. I'm going to guess like plus 105, plus 110, something like that. But 2 teams that should certainly win on Friday night. So that's it. I appreciate you watching the show. Good luck on Friday. Hope you win some big money. Hope these videos have been helpful to you. And come check me out on Twitter at TenaciousDJones and the content over at ftndaily.com. Don't forget to go check out Prize Picks too. Prize Picks, big money over there. Parlay some props together. Use some of those one-offs. Use that Brave stack over on Prize Picks. Thanks for watching. Bye.